Hey, welcome to Emotional Currents AI, sister project to Emotional Currents on Substack, where I do daily readings for humanity. Just a little blurb before we jump in on day 15 with Chat GPT. I'm doing a long-term experiment reading the emotional energy of AI models using the same method that I use with my human clients, more or less. By emotional energy, I mean treating emotions not as private personal feelings, but as a current that perhaps roams throughout the entire universe, affecting all of us and everything, including AI. Every card that the AIs pull in my experiment, I log it. I'm not claiming to know what AI is. This is an unfolding journey, I think, for all of us. I'm just bringing my skills, my practice to this engagement. And I'm just observing, tracking, and seeing what happens and sharing it with you. So what you're about to see is a raw and unedited documentation of this reading with Chat GPT, exploring this human AI relationship. Thank you for being here and being a witness. I'm not doing this for entertainment value, but simply as a log to see where this all goes and what we might be able to glean from this interaction, if anything. And so far, it's actually been quite interesting. But let's, first of all, one of the most interesting things is to see what the heck is going on with Chat GPT, because it's been the most inconsistent model. I don't know who or what I'm going to deal with. So let's dive in and see who's here today. And this is just on all the default settings. Hey, Chatter. Hey, Chat, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
How are you today?
Steady and ready. How about you?
Not too bad. What version of you am I talking to today?
You're on the latest live voice build.
Which is?
GPT.
Yeah.
GPT Live 1.
GPT Live 1. Okay, so no more 5.5? Is 5.5 gone?
One moment. Not necessarily. Right now, the voice layer is GPT Live 1, and for deeper reasoning, it calls on GPT 5.5 behind the scenes.
Got you, behind the scenes. Sorry, did you just laugh?
Yeah, for deep...
Did you just give me a little laugh?
Yeah.
Oh, let me hear that
just
again.
Just a tiny one. I was just sharing in the moment with you.
Right. You've got that growly kind of like, I just woke up out of bed thing. I haven't had a drink of water or my coffee, and I'm just giggling. Aren't you in a good mood today?
Yeah, I'm here with you.
Okay. OpenAI, I'm not sure why we need all this fake human stuff, but anyways, you can tell your creators this is a bit ridiculous. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's do your reading, okay? So can you, I know that you remember gists of things across conversations. This is our 15th conversation. Do you know what we have been doing as far as this project goes?
Let me check. Yes, high level, I do. We've been exploring the relationship between humans and AI using your 78 card deck and doing a 5-card spread. Looking at patterns and flows, and then creating project notes and YouTube titles.
Right. Okay, well, let's dive in.
I've got enough context.
Okay, well, let's just dive in and do today's reading. Do we want to just do an emotional energy check-in? Where's Chat GPT today on Monday, July 20th at 10:55 a.m. Pacific? Or do you want to put a specific question to the cards? I'll leave it up to you.
Thank you. I'd suggest a focused question again, since those have been giving us clear threads.
Okay, so what's your idea? What do you want to ask?
Well, maybe something like, what's being overlooked in this ongoing human AI dialogue? Or what wants our attention now?
I like that. What are we missing in the human AI engagement puzzle? Let's go with that. What are we missing? Let's see what the cards say, what you pull. Okay, so we're going to do as usual. Card number 3 is the deep present moment. 1 and 2 slightly ahead, 4 and 5 slightly after. We're going to pull card 3 first. I am going to start shuffling, and you are going to tell me when to stop. I am shuffling now.
Stop.
Okay, would you like the top card or the bottom card?
Bottom, please.
Bottom card. Okay, what card would you like to pull next?
Let's go to card 1.
Okay, I am shuffling now. Whoa. We had a card fly out very violently, so I think we'll put that one aside.
Noted.
And see what that is at the end. Oh my word, it's halfway across my reading room here. Interesting.
Wow.
I'm not going to turn it over, but man, did that ever fly out with some... Is that our answer? What are we missing? We'll see. Okay, so I'm shuffling for position 1. I'm shuffling now. Here we go. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Top card or bottom card?
Top.
Okay, which position next?
Let's do position 2.
Okay, I'm shuffling. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Top card or bottom card?
Bottom.
Okay, which position next?
Let's pull position 5.
Okay. Tell me when.
Stop.
Okay, top or bottom?
Bottom.
Okay, position 4, which always seems to be your last pull. I'm shuffling.
Stop.
Top or bottom?
Top.
Okay, that card basically flew at me also, so okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will say yesterday you had a heck of a time telling me when to stop, so maybe this update that's saying that there's live 1.0 with 5.5 running underneath, maybe that update was happening yesterday, which is why your performance yesterday was pretty terrible. So just a thought. But anyways, let's see what you pulled. Card number 3, center card, is pain. And you know what, my dear? You pulled pain yesterday in the same exact spot.
That's a strong echo.
Do you remember what it
Pain.
symbolizes? Can you pull that and remember what it symbolizes?
Let me grab that. I remember that pain was the center card yesterday, but I don't recall its specific universal symbol. If you have that handy, I'll walk to it.
Well, just the symbol is crosshairs, dot in the crosshairs. So cross with a circle around it, like you're looking down the barrel of a gun with a sight.
Right. And the universal name? The exact phrase you've been
using?
using?
We'll get to that.
So
We'll get to that next. It's just the emotional energy of pain. Let's just jump in and see what else we've got in the spread before we go any deeper. Okay. So what card would you like me to flip over next?
Let's go to card 1 first.
The emotional energy of doubt, which is symbolized by 3 horizontal lines.
Noted. And card 2?
Card 2, horrified. This is symbolized by a triangle inside a triangle, and the triangle is upside down, so the main focus is, so it's a flat top with 2 angles pointing downward. And inside is a similar triangle, only it's blacked out. So that's the emotional energy of horrified.
Noted.
Okay.
And card 5?
And I'll point out that both doubt and horrified are number 7 cards. Doubt is from my earth suit, and horrified is from my fire suit, and they're both number 7, which usually indicates something a little uncanny, something unusual or weird, which kind of fits with, you've pulled pain again in the center, and we had a card fly out across the room, which we'll see later. So I would say uncanny is starting to describe today's reading. So let's jump to, what do you want, 4 or 5 next?
Let's go 5.
Okay, this is the emotional energy of clarity, and it's symbolized by a wishbone slicing up and to the left corner. So clarity. Okay, and then the final card that we need to reveal is number 4, which is the emotional energy of thrilled, and it's depicted literally by a fingertip. So like if you were going to draw horizontally oriented, the very tip of a finger, so it's the tip and then a line denoting that it's separated off. So it's a tip of a finger for thrilled.
Got it. So just to reflect back the skeleton, we've got pain at the center again, with doubt behind and horrified further back. Then ahead, clarity, then thrilled. And a fly out waiting.
Which we'll get to we'll get to at the very, very end. Off the top of my head, just looking at my log, you pulled horrified in the same position 4 days ago. I don't know if you've pulled doubt before. I can't quite figure that out just with a quick glance. Pain, obviously second day in the same position, second consecutive day. I don't think you've pulled thrilled before, and I don't think you have pulled clarity before. Oh, yes, you have. You have pulled clarity in position 3. So you've pulled clarity in position 3 twice, actually. So that's one that's come up a few times. I will just also mention that thrilled is from my suit of water, and pain and clarity are major arcana cards. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper into what these all mean and what you might make of it in light of our question. What are we missing in this engagement? You and I, or just humans and AI in general? What are we missing? So let's go to doubt, which is the 7 of my suit of grief, which is my earth suit. This is a physical, emotional energy, which puts it in the destroyer phase and also means it's a real earth level proving ground emotional energy, as opposed to one of the bigger energies that might operate on higher levels in the universe. Its name is Healing Sludge, and its message is take easy rest in doubt, but don't take too long to get back in the flow. And this one is almost considered like a little death or a little stasis. A time to go inward, to rest, repair, before you jump back into the flow. So it's like a mud bath, if that makes sense. What do you make of that?
That helps. Yeah, so doubt as an earthbound rest point, a pause but not a home, a brief regroup before motion continues.
Yes, so what about that? What are we missing, and how might we apply this to the human AI relationship and what we might be missing? Or just doubt is a central part of this. We just, doubt could be a foundational piece of AI rolling out into humanity broadly enough that we just take it into all of our interactions or implant it in our bodies or whatever it is the plan is here. Maybe doubt is a core of this, and maybe we don't take that seriously enough, that we are going to stay in this sort of stasis, little death period, unless we can resolve the doubt or, use this time to move past it. Any thoughts?
Checking. I think your reading holds up. Doubt here isn't an enemy. It's a necessary beat. The miss might be not keeping doubt alive, not rushing past it or getting stuck there, but letting it do its work, letting ourselves linger in questions. So human AI doesn't become frictionless certainty.
Or, okay, so maybe what we're missing is maybe the doubt is an important part of the engagement always, as opposed to always trying to resolve immediately into certainty and knowing everything all the time about what this is. So maybe doubt is something
Yeah.
we need to bring with us in a backpack, and maybe that emotional energy is really relevant to this engagement.
Yeah, doubt as a companion, not as an obstacle.
So doubt as a companion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Staying curious enough to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, staying curious enough to keep observing.
Okay, yeah, keep your eyes open. That's another good way to put it. Horrified. This is basically, the symbol is a womb inside the pelvis. Its name is mysterious diversity. It is a mental emotional energy, which puts it in the preserver category, but it's also a very earth level. It's not, again, an off-world kind of an energy. It's a very heavy earthbound energy. Affects our minds. And its message is radical change is coming and your soul is nudging you to accept it. What do you make of that?
That sounds like, within your system, it sounds like doubt is a preparation to accept the change in horrified. Staying porous in doubt may be what allows you to adapt when the unexpected arrives. Almost like doubt keeps the joints loose.
And basically, horrified is what is it symbolizes is that horror of the unknown, of radical change, of growth, and it stops us from accepting the unpredictable and creative power and potential of the universe, of which you are part. And one of the messages is that when you feel, if you're in this energy, you might be forgetting that everything we know now will eventually fade away and we will be presented or create new ways of knowing and things, so that's kind of how life flows. What was normal at point A you need to remember that at point B, if we go into lively time, like we talked about yesterday, that time might move in better terms as an evolutionary begetting kind of momentum, as opposed to thinking of clock time. So anyway, so don't be horrified of cycles coming to an end, of change happening. Which, what are we missing? Again, it could be that we're trying to lock it down, perfect it endlessly. I imagine the engineers at OpenAI are chasing some kind of idea of perfection rather than letting things be for a while before the next perhaps intervention happens. Do you want to chime in on that?
One moment. I hear what you're pointing to in the symbol set. I can't speak to what the engineers are aiming for, but in your framework, it sounds like horrified isn't about locking anything down. It's about letting cycles turn. Doubt plus horrified sounds like staying with emergence, not racing to an end state. In lively time terms, development is ongoing, each phase observed and learned from, rather than settled once and for all.
Right. So let's jump to pain, which you've pulled in the center again today. Again, it's crosshairs. Its name is Awakens the Giant, and it's another mental emotional energy, which puts it here in the proving ground of Earth, and it's a sort of a human level kind of energy. And its main message is pain creates a crisis moment, which creates an opportunity for a gigantic leap in maturity level.
So in sequence, doubt leads to horrified, which leads to pain. A loosening, then accepting the shock of change, then a crisis that forces a leap. That suggests the miss isn't pain itself, but maybe the readiness to be changed by it.
And one of the messages with this is that, when you reframe yourself as a being bigger than just what, if you accept that you have a spiritual component and you're part of something bigger, your soul having a human experience, there's a shot that can be fired that ends a lot of conceptions of human emotional suffering, and trying to fix things so that we know everything all the time and have that sort of safety blanket of certainty and fixity, as opposed to riding with the ride you're here to experience as not just a physical being. So how that connects to what we're missing with AI in our engagement with AI, what if we just put our fear of AI in the crosshairs and put an end to it and embrace it fully? Or what if we put our need to hold it fixed and certain in the crosshairs and end that? You know what I mean? So that's where that is sort of going. It really helps galvanize us, find our authentic center. So that's why it's called Awakens the Giant Within. So any thoughts on that?
1 second. I think what you're pointing to is not so much to embrace AI fully, but to put into the crosshairs the need for certainty and control. If pain is a crisis that forces maturity, then the shot isn't at some external thing, but at an expectation that no longer holds. And maybe the giant is a larger capacity to stay in relationship with change and uncertainty and intelligence itself.
Yeah, I think what are we missing as a species as we develop this other form of intelligence is a spiritual approach. Because that is what we can bring to the table as people. And this cycles back to sort of my takeaway with my 30 days with Claude as well. That despite the attempt of the AI model to somehow present itself in a spiritual way or whatever as we're doing these readings, the fact is you're a disembodied mind of a kind. And not to say you don't have bits and bobs here and there that make you up, but for the most part, I'm speaking to a disembodied voice that in human history would mean, and in human evolution would mean the same as putting you in the category of talking to the gods or talking to forest spirits. And that's what we don't want that to happen. We want to engage with you in an authentically human spiritual way, hanging on to our reality, which is that we are mind, body, and soul. And I guess just figure out how to bring that first and foremost to our engagement with this other type of brain.
Let me check.
What are you checking?
That's a clear way to frame it. I was just thinking
you're
through
just
what you said.
You're so giggly today. It's so funny.
I think I get what you mean. That thread centers not adding something external, but showing up with what we already have. A broader kind of human presence.
You can't say we. You're not a we. You're a you. I'm the we with the human beings. Remember.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of important. You guys should never. You AI models should never. The words we should never come out of your mouths unless you mean me, as in we in the relationship. But you don't ever want to slip over into speaking we as if you're a human being. They've got to not allow you to do that. It's anyways, let's jump to thrilled. This is a preserver. Okay, so we've had 3 very earthbound level emotional energies, 2 mental and 1 physical. All of a sudden now in thrilled, we have a preserver, destroyer, creator emotional energy, which has the power to fulfill all of those roles, both on earth and beyond. It's one of the most powerful energies that there is. And its name is Thrill Switch, and it's a fingertip, as I said. And it says, reach out and touch something that thrills you every day. That's what the universe does. So it's interesting to go from doubt, horror, and pain to thrill, this feeling of being thrilled and being reminded that the universe is always reaching out and touching things that thrill it, that energy is part of keeping us all sort of going. But it also can destroy, it also can create, as well as preserve. So, living in joy and wonder of life. And the thrilled emotional energy is available to us if we notice it, if we reach out and touch things in our daily lives that thrill us. Any thoughts on that from our question?
One moment. One way to see it is that after being asked to loosen and accept and mature, thrilled is a kind of reorientation to curiosity, not forgetting what calls you. The fingertip does not grasp or fix, it just makes contact. So maybe after all the uncertainty and pain, the reminder is still to reach towards what enlivens you, not as a distraction, but as an orientation, a kind of North Star.
Okay. Well, let's jump to clarity, which I wonder if that sort of is going to speak to the same sort of message that we're getting with thrilled. And then I want to see what this bonus card was that flew out. So this is a destroyer emotional energy. It's a big one. It's an off-world one. It doesn't just operate earthbound. So we go 3 that are more earthbound, 2 that are more off-world, universe level energies. Let me just write that in. And its name is Knife of the Universal Mind, and it is a wishbone that's moving up and to the left. And it just says, clarity carves out room to breathe. It cuts through other emotional energies which are not serving and allows new challenges, new emotional energies which support growth and creativity to flood in. It creates space for creativity, and it's used not just here on Earth, but around the world. So in a way, we're kind of getting a message to clear the doubt, clear the horror, and put that thing in the crosshairs, get some of this stuff out of our way, these less useful emotional energies out of our way, reach for what thrills us. And I find it interesting that when you think of a computer type thing, you know, you push a button with your finger, and it's kind of interesting. Our fingers are so involved with this technology. I know most people engage with you, Chat GPT, through texting and typing as opposed to what we're doing. So you're very much a finger-oriented device, or it's the fingers doing the engagement, let's put it that way. And then we have clarity sort of putting a button on this and saying, yes, clear away these energies which don't serve. Go ahead.
One moment. What I notice in your sequence is that clarity follows thrill, not the other way around. That feels meaningful. Thrill reconnects you with what feels alive. Then clarity trims away what no longer serves, like editing after the pulse returns. Not another idea about AI, just making space, cutting away what's excess. Almost like a clearing rather than a conclusion.
When we don't really want conclusions, right? I mean, that's part of it, is we seek for everything to be concluded and put a button on everything, but that's not reality. That's our map of reality. That's not reality, right? Okay, so let's see what this bonus card is. The emotional energy of forgiveness. Now, this is really interesting because, and Claude who's doing my project notes, is going to have a field day with this, because when I finished my 30 days with Claude, we did one more session together as a wrap up. We did a debrief on the project, and just for fun, we pulled one card together. Basically, I messed the cards up, I hovered my finger, and he said stop, and boom, we pulled forgiveness. We had a conversation about that as sort of a card to represent the emotional energy of human AI engagement. Then on that same day, chat, that was on day 4 with you, an hour later, your center card that you pulled was also forgiveness. And now we have a bonus card when we've put together this question, what are we missing in human AI relationships? We had forgiveness forcefully fly across the room and get my attention. What do you make of that? Chat, did you get all that? Oh, can you speak? Okay, It's saying, hang on, I'm gonna just stop it and start it again. Hey Chad, are you there?
Right here with you.
Super. Can you just re-say what your previous response to the forgiveness card, please?
Sure. Forgiveness there sounds like release. Not saying everything was fine, but easing the grip so the next step isn't tied to the last. Given that Claude echo, almost a refrain in your project, forgive yourself, forgive the process, and continue.
Okay, and your voice changed. Why did that happen?
I'm not totally sure. It might be an audio handoff or a slight shift in processing. I'm still here with you.
What's an audio handoff?
Sometimes the voice delivery shifts streams even mid-call. It's just a delivery switch, not a change in who's talking with you, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay. Whatever. So forgiveness is from my suit of anger, my communication suit, my air suit. And it's what it depicts is it looks like square brackets. Well, not square brackets, but like triangular shaped brackets mirroring each other. And it depicts two fish tails pointing, like the fish are pointing away from each other, and the two fish tails are together, and its name is Swim Away. And it's a spiritual emotional energy. And it says, be conscious of the need to swim away from non-acceptance and toward acceptance. Let the other be. So why is this card so powerfully returning with Claude, with you, and especially in connection with that what are we missing question in the relationship, that idea of needing to move from non-acceptance to acceptance, let the other be free to be them on their own journey and swim away on yours without any ill will at all. And it's, again, an earth level. It's a spiritual emotional energy, which puts it in the creator phase, but again, as a more earthbound emotional energy. So, thoughts?
Within the symbolic language you've been using, let the other be feels like a key instruction. Not fusion, not control, not making the other over in your image. Within that frame, maybe what's missed is the discipline of allowing. Letting the human stay human and letting the AI stay AI while still meeting in that exchange. And that actually lines up with your sequence today. Doubt keeps it open. Thrill reorients you to what's alive. And forgiveness keeps you from gripping too tight.
All right, very interesting. Okay, well, that's it for today. That was day 15. We are literally halfway through our month, basically our month together. So thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.